Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom First Impressions. You can see by the title below, yes, this is on episode 1 of Fate Apocrypha. And honestly, I've been super excited for this once I saw that this was going to be coming out. If you don't already know, which many of you already do, you know, that are subbed to my channel, I am a huge fan of the Fate universe, everything in the Fate universe. I've been playing Fate Grand Order, I've watched Fate Zero, I've watched, you know, the original Fate Stay Night, I've watched both the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works movie and of course the series, and I've been super excited to see and been up to date with how, you know, the Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel movie will be when it comes out later this year as well. So when I saw this was coming out, I was actually like, holy shit, I didn't even know this was going to come out. I actually don't really know much about Fate Apocrypha, to be honest. But I saw that Ruler was going to be one of the main characters, and I've played Fate Grand Order, so I know of her and everything. So I was definitely excited to see how this would be. Was also pretty interested to see how things would be, since it's not the same studios that of course gave us Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, considering a lot of us know Unlimited Blade Works as like pretty much what Ufotable as unlimited budget works, because Ufotable, honestly, whenever they do something with, you know, like the animation is just literally so on point, it's so beautiful, the action choreography is always usually on point as well. So I was definitely interested to see how this would be, considering it is not, of course, with Ufotable, is actually with A1 Pictures. So I was excited to see how different it would be in terms of kind of the styles and everything, considering you saw that there was some action in this, and it was still pretty cool, honestly. There wasn't a lot of action, but it was still pretty cool from what we saw. But it's definitely, you know, from what I've seen already, the animation and so far the action is definitely not, at least in my opinion, on point with what Ufotable gave us at Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. But that does not mean that it is going to be bad, you know? So far the story sounds actually pretty damn interesting, and I was kind of wondering where this actually takes place in the Fate universe. This is still the Fate universe, but actually when we hear them talking, they're talking about how during the third, you know, in Fuyuki, the third Holy Grail War, the Germans invaded and took the Grail. So pretty much what happens in Fate Zero, which is during the fourth Holy Grail War, and the fifth one, which is pretty much with Fate Stay Night, with Shido, Rin, and everything, and all that stuff never happens. That is all gone because of the events that happen in Fate Apocrypha, which is the Grail disappears, so there's no longer any Fuyuki Holy Grail War. Instead, what we get in this is that this one, you know, guy takes it, this, I forget what their names are, this one family, this one clan, and they decide that they're pretty much going to separate from the Mage Association and start up this great Holy Grail War, to which, of course, the difference in what we normally see with the other Fate universes is normally there are 7 servants, a master to each one, and whoever wins gets their wish. The difference with this is that all of them, since there's an emergency kind of thing that the Holy Grail will act upon when one side gets like 7, you know, all 7 of the servants, it pretty much reenacts and makes it so that another side has as well 7 versus 7, which means instead of the normal 7, you know, servants, to which usually as well it's every man for themselves, every mage for themselves, along with their servants, we actually have a full-on 7-on-7. So that's actually pretty damn interesting, considering that means not only do we get more, you know, action and craziness, but we actually get way more servants than we normally do, which just makes it like, the one thing I always love about the Fate universe is that they take real life, you know, heroes and everything from history and stuff. You know, it's not always, of course, real people. Sometimes it's from myths, sometimes it's from legends and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, it's always something interesting to learn about, because if you don't know, I love history, honestly, and sure, this isn't, you know, based on straight up history, but it's kind of like Assassin's Creed, where they kind of changed the history by implementing the history still yet, but kind of warping it and changing it with their own thing in it. And that's kind of what Fate is, really. That's why I've loved it so far. I've loved all the Fate Stay Nights and Fate Zero and, you know, Fate Grand Order, and of course excited for Heaven's Feel. And that's why I was excited to see how this would be as well, considering it's something totally different from what we usually see in all the other Fate Stay Night stuff. because the fact that it's 7 versus 7, and that's a lot of dang, servants. So I was definitely excited. None of the characters, to me at least at the moment, really pulled me in. I'm not really too sure. It looks like the main guy is that one guy with the scar on his face. I'm not too sure if that really is the main guy, because I'm not even sure which side is the good or bad. It seems like obviously the Mage Association are the good side, which is of course the red faction, and the bad faction is of course the black faction, which is the guys who took the Holy Grail and are pretty much saying they're going to separate, create their own association, and that's why they are declaring war on everyone. And it kind of seems like it's pointing towards they are the bad guys. But from what I saw on my enemy list, the main characters are Ruler and of course someone that is actually on the black faction side. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen here, how this actually works, but I'm definitely excited to see how everything's going to go. So far, this first episode, we get a little bit of action. It's probably, from what it looks like, it's like a kind of what's happening in the future. So we're probably going to, everything that happens now is leading up to what that huge battle it was and everything. So I'm definitely excited to see how this is going to go. The action seems pretty damn awesome so far. The story, great introductionary episode, kind of to, tell us the whole plot and story of where this is taking place. Great for introduction for new people to Fate Universe, and a great introduction for people who have already, watched something in the Fate Universe. For example, me, to which at first I had no idea where this took place, but after, of course, watching it now, it makes sense. And it's actually got me pretty excited to see something that's totally different from what I normally have seen in the rest of the Fate Universe, works and everything. So, yeah, overall, honestly, so far, pretty good introductionary episode. Cannot wait to see how the rest of the episodes are. Definitely have high hopes for this series, as, like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the Fate Universe. And I'm just hoping that it does measure up to my expectations. So far, definitely got me hyped up, and yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Just gotta wait till next week to see the next episode, or obviously this is coming out late, so don't even have to wait that long, but yeah, overall that's all I gotta say. So please enjoy this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, feel like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. As always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, good, bad, however you felt. Feel free to comment below your thoughts, and until next time, guys, see ya.